morning, everyone. Welcome to FPC Radio Live. It is Monday. It is March the 1st. That's right. February is over. 2 months out of 2021 are over, and there's a lot going on this month. So we're ready to rock and roll. We are ready to sit here and chat with you guys, as we are always excited to do. And guess what, folks? We have finally gotten the phone number working. It's up. It's ready to go. So guess what? If you want to call, if you want to text us, you can do that. It's 626-310-8882. It's right there on the bottom of the screen. If you happen to be watching on Twitter, on YouTube, on Facebook, whatever, give us a call if you want to talk. If you have any comments, thoughts, criticisms, we're open to it. We just want to hear from you. So one more time, write it down, save the number, favorite it on your phone, 626-310-8882. But I'm not the one you're going to be talking to all the time. It's not just me. I gotta, of course, bring in the guy who really carries the show here and makes me look good, or at least distracts people from hearing the stupid things I say. His name is Mike Debate. Mike, what's up, buddy?
La, la, la. Oh, great to be back with you on a Monday morning, my friend. March 1st, a new month, everything beginning again. And yes, you're right. This is going to be a big month in the world of sports, but always a blast sharing the microphone with you, my friend. It's great to be back.
Oh, of course. And, I don't know what it is about Mondays that really bring out kind of like, I don't know. I don't want to say crazy because I don't want to judge anyone's mental health or mental state, but sports crazy fans, because I spent a good half hour or so prior to the show, as I was preparing, of course, diligently preparing. That's all I do is prepare. Was still arguing to people about Brady and Rodgers, and I'm just like, look, the Super Bowl was 3 weeks ago. Brady outplayed Rodgers for the second time this season over 5 weeks ago. Can we please move on? How is it that, these people are still arguing this point? I just don't get it, Mike.
What other point do they have to argue?
Beats me.
I'm sorry to say it, but I mean, when it's the same old story over and over again, I mean, you have to try to keep pushing the narrative. I mean, it's as it gets more and more obvious that this isn't a narrative any longer. The only way to keep it alive is to keep, banging the drum. And I think that's what you're seeing.
Well, hey, look, whatever gets them through the night. But, I'm a very stubborn person. I'll admit that. Absolutely. I'm stubborn. I think I'm right all the time. And for the most part, I feel like the stances I take, I make sure that I feel very confident in being right. But even I don't think I could fight a losing battle like this. I don't get it, Mike. I really don't. Like, I mean, these people. I mean, I guess it's just this basic philosophy.
It's not a lie, if you believe it.
Yeah, essentially, right?
That is right.
Essentially,
yep.
Because basically,
the wise George Costanza.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
If you convince yourself enough, you can believe anything, and that's why we're sitting here today, or at least I'm sitting here today. I don't know if everyone else is going through this as I am, but you're sitting here today listening to people tell you how Aaron Rodgers, despite losing to Tom Brady twice, actually outplayed him. So who knows? We'll see. We'll probably be talking about this for weeks, because look, this is the time of the year where we get so excited, and we got free agency up in 16 days from now, March 17th. NFL free agency starting. We're going to have plenty to talk about, but we get excited for free agency only to see a lot of these big names get signed or tagged. So the actual list of free agents that will be available the moment free agency opens will likely not be the list that we talk about here over the next couple of weeks, but at least we can get excited about it. I'm not looking to continue talking about this quarterback thing, because surprise, I'm actually starting to get tired of it. I really am, Mike. I know that might come to a surprise to some people, but I don't know. I'm starting to get, it's just exhausting at this point, because it's just it's clearly a losing battle no matter what. Nothing's going to change these people's mind. I think what I'm more shocked about is that they continue to fight this battle, because I would have given up a while ago. I'll be honest, I would have given up a long time ago when I realized how pointless it is, because guess what, I would have been wrong.
Well, I think in a lot of ways, you really kind of echo what everyone is thinking, maybe not, and feeling, maybe not what they'll verbalize, but I think you do make an interesting point. Look, bottom line, when it comes to NFL free agency, especially where quarterbacks are going to end up and which quarterback is going to have the biggest year in 2021 and things of that nature, I mean, we can all say that we have the ability to prognosticate the future. Nobody does. And, we give our best guess. We give our best educated guess, contrary to popular belief. We do know our football, and we do take our position seriously. I had recently had my knowledge of football questioned because I thought Matt Milano might be interesting in the middle part of the Patriots defense. I was told I don't know football for that reason by some dolt with 3 followers. But, it really, it comes down to it.
Who was it?
No. I am not. No. I am not. I am not going there. I'm just saying what needs to be said. I'm not going to blacklist anyone at Hop Sings. I'm going to be really, really good about it. But at the same time, it's the nature of the way this part of the season works. During the season, I think everybody can, immerse themselves into what's happening on the field. After the season is over, all of a sudden you have the season of armchair GMs, armchair drafters, armchair scouts, things of that nature, of people that, take to social media to show their prowess. I'll be honest with you, the vast majority of the people that I deal with and that I come in contact with on social media take it very seriously. They're very good at what they do, and I'm impressed by a lot of the insight that they bring. So 99.3% of the people that I do deal with on a regular basis when it comes to that bring a good amount of interesting points to the conversation. Do I always agree? No, absolutely. But variety is the spice of life. I learn from them; they learn from us, and that's what it comes down to. But some people just can't be reached, and that's unfortunately the other remaining 0.7%. My buddy just seems to find them all over here. They all gravitate toward you.
Yeah.
So maybe I kind of like give them all over to you.
What can I say? I'm charming.
Yeah, you well, that's it. Absolutely. They love you, bud. And I got to give you a lot of credit. You deal with these people very interestingly. I don't know if I could do what you do when it comes to putting the willfully ignorant in their place. It's a skill. It's an art form that I admire, that I envy at times. But in a lot of ways, you got to be commended for it. So that's what I'm here for this morning, to commend you on that, bud.
Oh yeah, no, I like I said, it's it certainly keeps my mental state strong and alert, and that's how I view it. I figure, hey, why not? Keep my juices flowing. It's good for the show. It gives me energy. It gives me it keeps my debate wheels fresh in case they ever get called into question. But no, I like I said, I wasn't planning on bringing that up, but hey, figured why not? People are arguing with me this morning. If anyone wants to talk about it, yeah, that's right, folks. We're gonna push the hell out of this number, 626-310-8882. 8882. That's the number. Give us a call if you want to talk sports, entertainment. It doesn't matter. We don't care. We're lonely. We don't have friends. Mike and I, we're our only friends for each other. So we'd like to talk to other people. See what they have to think about this.
Yes, we are our own best friends.
Yeah,
that is true.
That's right. I like to throw some historical or just, anniversary dates out there. And this is kind of going way off the map here. But you know what happened today in 1932? And Chris, if you're listening, don't spoil it. I know you're around then. Taking a lot of shots at him lately. I apologize, Chris. I did not mean that. You know what happened this day in 1932?
On this day in 1932? No, I do not. Please enlighten me.
I will. The Lindbergh baby was kidnapped.
Wow, that's right. That is
Lindbergh baby.
Right.
Wah, goo goo. I miss my fly.
I know. It's not obviously a thing to poke fun at. I mean, it's almost 100 years old now. But as soon as I read that, the first thing I thought of was Grandpa Simpson. I am the Lindbergh baby. Yes, Grandpa, we get it. Yeah, I don't know. That's all I had. I didn't know if you had any interesting tidbits to throw in there or throw into the mix, but I I saw that and I was like, oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. I like to go back
No,
in
it
history.
is.
Um,
Yeah, this day, and absolutely this day in history, definitely it's well, I know, well publicized in Hopewell, New Jersey is actually where they were from, where the Lindbergh family was from, and I remember driving through there at one point, and that's where the obviously, unfortunately, the baby's body was discovered May 12th of that year, and yeah, I remember seeing the sign to commemorate it. So, wow, no, I forgot that was March 1st. That's yeah, this is a dynamite drop in. That was absolute dynamite drop in. I did not realize that.
Also
I
today,
did not know that.
I did not know that. Also today, keeping a historical perspective for all those out there who want to learn something, Joseph Stalin suffered a stroke that ultimately cost him his life just a few days later. So, yeah, I don't know. That was just right next to the tidbit, so I figured I'd throw that out there too.
No, it's okay.
Why not?
No, that's good.
Why not?
Yep.
Hey, you know what? I got a little something for the folks out there because again, I'm trying to really push this here. We want to talk to people. So, if you didn't hear me before, listen to this sweet little sweeper. You are listening to Full Press Radio. Call or text the show at 626-310-8882. I'm just going to start throwing that out there so people talk to us. I'm clearly desperate for friends. I don't have any. I figured we can form bonds over the people that we talk to on the radio
Yes,
station.
we can. Yeah. It's called the FPC Radio Live Psychic Friends Network. If it's 3 a.m. and you need a friend, give us a call. We're here. We're ready. We'll take your call. And it's everything that you hope for, and hopefully more. I'm looking at the board. Why aren't you calling?
That's a good question, Mike Walken. No, seriously, though.
Do I have to physically come over and coerce you to give us a call? It's not a pretty sight. I'll do it, but I'm going to need to be handsomely paid for it, and I don't think my buddy over here has it in the budget to be able to pay me.
We can make something happen. We can find the money. We can find the money. There's another set of books. Oops.
For me or for walking? You're gonna find the money for walking.
Well, for walking, right.
Trust me, buddy, I ain't worth it. But walking on the other hand, that's a ball of entertainment.
Maybe might have to shell out a little bit for him. No, no, folks, we're obviously we're excited to have it. It just kind of opens up a different possibility for us. We're over the summer as we get into more of the slower sports times. We're gonna have different contests and different competitions involving hopefully you callers and our audience, and to make it a little bit more fun, we're gonna give some things away and all that stuff. So we're excited, in all seriousness, to have this number working, and of course we want to continue to utilize it as we move forward, because there's going to be a lot of opportunity to have some fun. And,
we definitely do. Now, the big question is here, bud. Question is, do we have international access? Because we have some listeners from across the pond. Hi, Claire. We do have some listeners that are across the pond over in our good friend Great Britain. So do we have the ability to take international callers at this time?
Soon.
That's the real question.
Soon. Right now we're using the number that we have. Soon. But
when will then be now? Soon.
We will hopefully, again, in the next coming weeks or so, we should have a toll-free number that should be able to be accessed through to all of our friends in any corner of the world, rather. So keep an eye out for that. For now, folks, I apologize. This is just a North American number. So if you are in the United States, Canada, or Mexico, feel free to give us a call using, what's the number? 626-310-8882. Mike, do you remember it already? Nope. No, you don't. It's okay. It's like, I'm like, Mike, you know the number? No? You don't? No. Okay. One more time.
Hold on. I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here.
Would you mute your mic?
626-310-8882.
There you go. Very good. I thought
Yes.
you.
Unfortunately, I'm sorry. I was on mute. I hit the damn mute button. Yep. 626-310-8882.
There
Folks,
we go.
please dial it up.
Perfect. What do you think of? Obviously we talked a lot about Tiger Woods last week. Obviously the unfortunate car accident that he was in. What do you think of yesterday? A number of golfers wearing his traditional red shirt, black pants getup to kind of honor him. And he even said, he came out, I believe, last night and just talked about how incredible of a moment it was, and just how much he felt that appreciation while he goes through this recovery. What were your thoughts on that? I thought it was really cool that they did that, and
it was a great tribute. Yeah. It really was a great tribute, and it made an impact on him. Obviously, you mentioned the tweet that he sent out. Seeing all that is definitely extra motivation, and I think a lot more, maybe even fuel to the fire to try to have him get up and be able to fight this, and to be able to, do everything that he can to get back on his feet as quickly as possible. And again, it's going to be a very, very long recovery process for Tiger, without any question. But seeing the tribute and seeing the his fellow golfers and his colleagues, solidarity get behind him like that means so much. Anybody that's ever experienced any type of tragedy, whether it be, losing a loved one, or whether it be, some sort of, health, crisis or injury crisis like Tiger is going through right now, anything, the support of the people around you is so important, and especially the support of people that are, not only just family members, but people that you work with, people that you've touched in some way, shape, or form. It can be a really powerful thing. And, I'm not trying to make too much out of it or be too flowery. I mean, ultimately it was a tribute. It was something that I think was a nice gesture, but it will have an impact. And obviously it had an impact, enough of an impact for Tiger to take to social media and thank everyone and let everyone know how much it meant to him. So it was great to see that. I always, I said it last week here when, you saw the black pants and the red shirt and you saw Tiger Woods come out onto the golf course on a Sunday. You knew that was when Tiger was wearing his Sunday reds, you knew you were in for a treat no matter what. He was there, and he was there to compete, and he was there to do everything he could. So maybe it's a rallying cry for him to be able to find the motivation to be able to push through. And I think that's important. So yeah, I was touched by it.
Yeah, I couldn't help, and obviously this is just how my head works, but I couldn't help but think, if you're a Parks and Rec fan, Ron Swanson would wear that same getup after having relations the night before, and it was always kind of funny to see that. And anyone that's ever seen the gif of him, kind of moving, doing the little arm, fist forearm over forearm type little shuffle move that he does, wearing that outfit, that always got a kick out of it. And hey, it's a great outfit. The black and red, man, that's iconic. That's iconic. I mean, how many, off the top of your head, how many, again, I guess this really pertains mostly to, I would say, I don't know. Well, let's think about it. Outfit wise, is there a more iconic look, in any sport? I know it's tough because not every sport, a lot of team sports, obviously there's a uniform, so it's not like you can stick out, but like, there's still ways to have a look that didn't necessarily replicate anyone else. And I'm kind of putting you on the spot here. This Mike, this is a perfect question to ask our listeners, who can call or text 626-310-8882. What other athlete had a look that as soon as you saw it, or at least you saw other people try to replicate it, whether you're a kid or whatnot, playing pickup basketball, hockey, baseball, whatever. What other looks out there do you think stick out to you?
I think probably for me, the look that would be iconic, and I think impossible for anybody else to pull off, would be apparently the true pickup game that took place between Charlie Murphy and his friends and Prince in Prince's home in Minnesota. Did you see this over the weekend? Eddie Murphy folks, I don't know if you've seen this over the weekend on social media. Eddie Murphy recently gave an interview where he apparently confirmed that Charlie Murphy's
Oh, yeah.
story from Chappelle's Show, the pickup game between Prince and between Charlie and his friends, actually took place at Prince's home, and it took place almost identical to exactly the way that Charlie had put it. They talk about true Hollywood stories. Everybody thought that was a skit. He said that was a lot more factual than people really want to believe. That Prince and his team really were very good basketball players, and they took it to Charlie and his and his crew, and they were able to get him. And apparently, Prince did play in the same attire that he was wearing at the club.
That's
So to me, if that's an icon, if that's not an iconic look on a basketball court, if you're talking about iconic looks in a sports game or anything like that, that may be the most difficult to pull off. I don't know if anybody can do that other than Prince.
You deserve a little applause there, because I don't think you can top that anymore. Like, I'm sitting here thinking like, oh, this should be fun. We could throw out some good ones. You went right off the top rope, dropped the elbow, and that's it. My
Well, I mean, until I saw that over the weekend, I always thought that was, very, very much embellished. Maybe there was a little element of truth to it, but I always thought that to be nothing more than a skit. And I thought that was pretty much it. And then when I read Eddie's interview and I read the transcript from it, I couldn't believe it. I said, wow, that was actually more factual than not. He's obviously, he did acknowledge that there were a lot of parts of it that were, embellished, and of course for comedic effect, and who could blame him. But yeah, there was apparently, even complete with a pancake breakfast after the dinner was over. That was after the game was over. They actually did sit down to pancakes. So there is I'll tell you, that show was great.
Oh,
It's
fantastic.
Iconic. But yeah, so I think if he pulled that look off actually on a basketball court, no matter where it was, even though there weren't cameras present or anything of that nature, I can't imagine any more of an iconic look to an athlete than that.
Here I was going to say, oh, Allen Iverson, he had the really, like, the untucked shirt, and kind of like just that style, like, was kind of, it was unique. And so yeah. I look at that and I think, well, hey, kids my age, if you were that type of player, if you were the shooter, that type of, player, you try to replicate that, and it had the look. Sergei Fedorov back in the day had like the I'm sorry, not Sergei Fedorov, like Mike Modano had the little half tuck jersey look going on, and in a way too, I guess you could say, and I'm kind of sticking to hockey players here for some reason, but you think about Wayne Gretzky and the Jofa helmet. At a certain point, no one wore that helmet but him, so that kind of turned into iconic look. I guess I'm trying to think of any sort of basketball, baseball, or
to a much lesser extent, but and I know he did it for, and it's not really for fashion purposes, and forgive me, folks, because I don't mean to make light of it, but John Olerud wearing the baseball helmet on the field, and fielding ground balls, not just using a cloth baseball cap or a wool baseball cap, using the helmet on the field. Now I know he did that because he had suffered previously a head injury, was worried about things happening from that nature, so he did that. But I remember that being an odd look and an iconic look, and he was the only one that I remember wearing that in the field. So I guess you could kind of throw that in there.
Hey, and we got a great example from a texter from the 781, Horace Grant, the goggles. I mean, that's a pretty, yeah. I'd say that was a pretty iconic look, and I would even go as far as saying more recently, and I know others have obviously had to do this for injury purposes, but now forgive me, I gotta look up the make sure that I'm getting the right thing, but the face mask, Pistons. Who was it?
Rip Hamilton.
Yes, thank you. Yep. I was blanking on the name. I was trying to look it up, and I just completely blanked. But as we know, he first started wearing it out of necessity, but it became his thing. It was the face mask. So I would definitely throw that in there for sure. See, now we're on a roll. Now we're thinking about some of these. Now, see, we got a basketball player. We got some hockey players.
Yeah, I mean,
Obviously
flamboyance
Prince.
for I mean, you want to talk about flamboyance in terms of quarterbacks. Jim McMahon had a pretty iconic look back in the '80s,
Yeah, that's true.
the mid '80s. Those Bears teams, he was able to to pull that off. The sunglasses on the sidelines and the headband, and that was kind of an iconic look. So
I
guess you can throw that in.
I'll
That
give
was
you that
another
one.
pretty good one.
What about I'm sure there's see, if we had John Sat, we'll have to ask John about this tomorrow when we talk to him. But I'm sure there's some tennis players that I don't know that have unique looks. How they approach.
Yeah, a lot of them did back in like the late '70s, early '80s.
Yeah,
You can make the argument that McEnroe.
Yeah.
That was you can definitely make that argument. McEnroe had a pretty iconic look. You can also Bjorn Borg had a pretty iconic look back in the day as well. So yeah, that's a good one. Tennis could be good. We can definitely grill Sap on that one tomorrow. We know he'll know a ton about that. So
well, hey, if Sap is listening and he wants to call 626-310-8882.
Oh,
Give us a call, right?
Here's a good one. Here is a good one.
Oh.
I just got a direct message. The late great Payne Stewart in the world of golf.
Yep.
Payne definitely had a unique fashion sense, without any question. Anybody going back, obviously his life tragically cut short in a plane crash. But Payne was one of those guys that was loved by everybody that played alongside him, and playing with the baggy pants and the tam and the sweater, and really taking the whole golf attire to another level. And a lot of people thought about replicating it, but most people have left that to him, and I think that was a great thing. So Payne Stewart, that was a good one. That was one that I was very impressed with. So
yeah, I feel see, now I'm trying to think a little bit more baseball. So who for the Giants with the beard? Who am I thinking of right now? I'm completely drawing a blank.
Not John Kruk.
No,
was it John Kruk?
No, recent. Like in the last 10
Oh, the
years.
relief pitcher. Yeah.
Yeah.
The beard. Oh my God. Why can't I?
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank, so I
I can't either. I really can't either. This is driving me crazy.
Although I don't know if I'd necessarily put that's more of a facial. A lot of people.
My resident baseball expert, someone that is very near and dear to our show. I take to calling her the Golden Heart from the Garden State. Star, if you're listening, we could use some help on this. We know you're the baseball guru. We know you love you some Mike Trout, but who is this bearded reliever that Ian and I just cannot think of?
626-310-8882. Any chance I get? No, well,
yes, that is Ian's real number, folks. Please call that at all hours of the night.
Yeah, we actually the cool thing about this is if you do get the urge to call us and we're not on the air, you can leave us a voicemail. Yes, Mike, you can leave us a voicemail, and I'm sure that wouldn't get inappropriate ever. But no, seriously,
it's really psychic advice if you're leaving it on a voicemail. I don't know. That's something I'm gonna have to look into. I don't know.
Well, folks,
where are we, by the way?
just a disclaimer: if you do call and leave a voicemail, we do have the right to use your voice in whatever manner we choose to do so. No, it's not like that. I mean, we will replay it, and we'd like to talk to you again to spark a conversation. So please give us a call, give us a text. 626-310-8882. I think I've said that about 8 times already today, and we're only halfway through the show, so get ready, folks. It's coming even more. Dude, I know people just wait and lean and just hope for my positive reaction to WandaVision on Mondays. And let me tell you, folks, fantastic. I know, Mike, I wish I could go in a little bit more and give you my deep analysis of the show, but I know my buddy here hasn't seen it, and I'm sure there are other people out there that haven't seen it, so I don't want to sit there and be the guy who spoils things for you. But it's been fantastic. The writing, the storytelling. I enjoyed this last episode, and It has been confirmed, as I've seen out there, it has been confirmed that the final episode does run 50 minutes. So as I mentioned last week, I was very disappointed when I got bamboozled into believing that the last 3 episodes were an hour long, and it made the end credits hit that much harder 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, definitely, and I'm looking forward to it. I keep getting ribbed by Taylor and by Pat for not having seen it yet, but I'm waiting for the binge experience, and hopefully it'll be something that'll be good. So
you should. It's honestly, it's a very quick watch. You could the first, what is it? We're going into the last episode is this week, I believe. So episode 8, 30 minutes apiece. Yeah, you could get through that, no problem. No problem. So, this is what I recommend, Mike. This is what I recommend. By this time next Monday, I want you to be fully caught up, okay? I want you to watch what you haven't watched, and then watch the season finale on Friday, or Saturday morning, or Friday, whatever. Because it technically comes out 3 a.m. on Friday, and I failed twice to stay up and watch
3 a.m. Let's see. There you go.
Yeah.
It's 3 a.m. I can be up watching WandaVision, and you can take our calls, and you can give our listeners psychic advice, because let me tell you, they need it.
Yeah. I have been known to predict a few things. I once went 12-0 in a single weekend. Picking games.
That's right.
That's my 4 touchdowns.
That's right,
in a
he
single
did,
game.
and it was because of my expertise. He stopped by the Walken household, and I was able to give him some pointers on that weekend. And I'm still waiting for my thank you fruit basket, and I haven't got it yet.
You'll get nothing and like it. Oh man, no, I
look at the abuse I'm taking.
That's what you're paid to do, my friend.
That is true.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, so hopefully, like I said, keep thinking about those things out there, listeners, callers, whatever. Listeners, right now, you're not calling yet. Call. What other looks did we miss? Because we can keep coming back to that here over the last last half hour or so of the show. And I did see the message about the UK number, very emphatically. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to go back to my original thing that I brought up. But again, I'm being called a homer on Twitter because I said Tom Brady outplayed Aaron Rodgers in the NFC Championship game. It's a crazy world, Mike. It's crazy out there. I don't know what to do. These people are nuts. Psychos.
Yeah, it's I guess in a lot of ways I've been called worse, but it's that's the fallback. They'll always call you a homer because anybody that roots for Brady has to be a homer. Nobody that roots for him actually would know football, right? That's kind of the narrative that's out there, isn't it?
Yeah,
Anybody that really knows
much.
football knows that Tom Brady is a system quarterback.
System, right?
System, that's right.
System, right? No, it's silly, and I kind of wish John was on today because I'd like to ask him about some of his compadres there. I guess you want to call him because he's obviously a Aaron Rodgers fan, but I don't even think he would go as far as saying that Aaron Rodgers outplayed Tom Brady in the NFC Championship. It doesn't matter. Speaking of quarterbacks, though, we talked last week. Claire says for me to stop being mean to you. I apologize. I don't mean to be mean. All right, and sometimes a little on edge. But we talked a little bit.
Gotta be honest. You insulted me a little bit. Insulted me a little bit. That's a little bit.
We talked last week about Russell Wilson. I want to ask you if your opinion has changed at all. I think we both kind of landed on like 60-40 that he might get traded, or at least that's where I was starting to lean because I felt like all the stories that are coming out over the last week or so kind of makes the situation feel a little bit more tense than I originally anticipated. Do you still agree with that, or are you still kind of just assuming he's ultimately going to end up back in Seattle?
I still think he's going to end up back in Seattle. I think a lot of this is smoke and mirrors, but I'm a lot less confident in that now than I was maybe just a week ago at this time. We saw reports over the weekend that apparently Russell Wilson would happily, quote, happily accept a trade to the Bears. And that was a possible destination that we had mentioned last week. And look, there's no question about it. There's two guys that are very motivated to make this deal happen. Would have to be Ryan Pace and would have to be Matt Nagy. I mean, they're looking to save their jobs. They're looking to save their future in Chicago. What better way to do it than to bring a guy like Russell Wilson into Chicago? Do they have the wherewithal to be able to do it? It would have to include a lot of draft picks. It would have to include some NFL-ready players. You have to think Nick Foles is going to be involved in that somehow. Whether or not that's going to be something that Seattle would covet, who knows? I really don't know. They would probably look to fleece maybe some of that defensive talent. Seattle struggled a little bit with defense last year, shorted up toward the end of the year, but in the early part of the year, that defense looked very porous, very uncharacteristic for a Seattle team. So can this be pulled off? I mean, ultimately, the jury is still out on that one. I'm still leaning toward him coming back to Seattle, but at the same time, the teams that are out there, the other teams, I guess, what is it, Dallas and New Orleans and Las Vegas, are I guess the other possibilities that are out there right now that Russell has apparently agreed that he would accept a trade to at this point. Yeah, I would say I'm still leaning 60-40, and I think that there's something to be said with that. So.
Yeah,
That's that. Yeah, that's what I'm going with 60-40 that he stays in Seattle. But you asked me this time last week, I would have probably said 70-30. So my my window's closing a little bit.
yeah, it's shifting a little bit. I mean, again, this is all based on whether or not you believe the stories that we've heard about, the relationship between he and Pete Carroll being fractured, Wilson not getting the input that he would like. And look, that's a big deal. I mean, people want to sit here and in hindsight create all these narratives surrounding the split between Brady and Belichick. We know that Belichick very much valued Brady's input. There's been obviously some points of tension and whatever. If you, like I said, it all depends on what you believe or the extent of how tense things were. But at the end of the day, there was many a times that Brady spent in Belichick's office giving him his opinion and Belichick, being open to it. And by all accounts, it doesn't seem like that's the case in Seattle with Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll. So that's where I sit there and I say, you know what? If this is true, again, we're basing this off what we've heard, and we'd be the first ones to sit there and tell you to always have a skeptical mind during this mad rush of reporting, because again, not everything is 100% accurate. There's little bits of truth to everything, but there could be more falsehoods to it as well. So don't believe everything, just kind of use your instincts. So if I'm sitting here and saying I believe that there are these tense moments that have been reported, that's when I start to sit there and say, yeah, it seems more and more realistic that Seattle would move on from Russell Wilson this offseason. And I mean, I don't know. And that maybe that's what, maybe I'm just, maybe I'm eager. I'm seeking out the drama, Mike. Maybe that's the case. Maybe I just want to see drama. I want to see interesting things that just happen and flip the football world upside down. Russell Wilson going to Dallas. What if he goes to Dallas and the oh my God, that'd be crazy. He goes to New Orleans. That'd be an interesting situation. All of a sudden, where does Jameis Winston go? And I think that would really kill any sort of steam of a Breeze return. That could, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I would assume he would have retired by now, but there seems to be some sort of a little bit of doubt. Maybe just there's a little doubt there. But look, Russell Wilson, if he gets moved, all of a sudden things change a little bit, and you look at whoever acquires him a bit differently. So, yeah, you know what? I'm rooting for it. I want to see the drama. I want to see where he goes. I want to see where it goes.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's something that everybody is looking forward to, and I think Russell Wilson is that type of game-changing, franchise-changing quarterback that would have a ripple effect. And that's not really a revelation. I mean, that's far from being a take. That's pretty obvious. But this is the type of impact that he will have. Desean Watson is another guy that will undoubtedly, in my opinion, be on the move. I know some people are still clinging to hope that he ends up staying in Houston. I don't think that's going to happen. I think Desean has dug his heels in. As a matter of fact, there are a lot of reports, numerous reports out there, that he's willing to sit out regular season games in order to prove his point that the relationship with Houston is just too far gone. So I think Houston has to realize, I think Nick Caserio needs to come to the realization that it's going to happen on his watch. Unfortunately, he inherited this situation, but he chose it. Nobody, forced it upon him. And him coming into this, he needs to realize that this is going to happen. So try to maximize the deal that you can possibly get as much return as you can for Desean, because he is a once in a lifetime, once in a lifetime opportunity for him to be able to lose what a lot of people are considering to be the premier franchise quarterback out there on the market, and I believe he is. The question is, where does he end up? And that's going to be the big question over the course of the next couple of weeks. I expect this one to get done in advance of the beginning of the league year, 17 days from today, or technically 16, I guess is the best. On the 17th, it will be the start of the league year, and I think you will see that Desean Watson will be in a different uniform, and who knows, maybe that means that there will be a Russell Wilson on the move as well.
Yeah, well, look, I feel it's almost certainty that Desean Watson will not be a Houston Texan next year, whether it's through holdout or, getting traded. At this point, there's no repairing this relationship. This isn't a new thing for the Texans when it comes to incompetence, when it comes to a poorly run franchise. This is some history dating back prior to Desean Watson. So, this to him, if he's looking at it, he's like, what gives me any confidence that this is going to change? And I like Nick Caserio as well, but I think he's in a terrible situation right now. They clearly have an owner that has more belief in football operations, and I use that word loosely, than the players. So to me, I don't know. If I'm Desean Watson, at this point, I don't care how it looks. He might have to sacrifice some money this year if he really feels like he needs to take it as far as holding out. But if I'm him, I'm there's no way I'm stepping on the football field as a member of the Houston Texans ever again. And for him to look at this and have an opportunity to get out of this situation at 26 years old, you have to take it. You have to take it because he has such a long career ahead of him, and it could be a very successful one in the right organization.
Yeah, that's the key is, will he go to the right organization? And I can't imagine that Desean is going to be, someone that's just going to, go anywhere, or just I think there is a part of him that wants to get out and wants to get out at all costs, but he's going to very strategically determine where he wants to be next year, and he should. And at that point, it will mean a good amount of success for him. I'm hearing a lot of rumblings about the Dolphins. That does make a lot of sense from, the purview of the New England Patriots. That's definitely not good news if you're a Pats fan, or even if you're a Bills fan or a Jets fan. Having to face Desean Watson and that budding team that's really making waves down in Miami will not be good news for them. But it's a great fit for him, and we'll see what ends up happening. Right now, I would say that's my leaning. That's where my thoughts are leaning toward him being a member of the Miami Dolphins this year. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I agree with you. You have to take that opportunity. He can't hang around in Houston any longer. That's an organization right now that is just in a lot of turmoil, and they've got a long road ahead to fix that. Maybe it begins with, starting fresh, wiping the slate clean, and building from the ground up.
Yeah, and look. I mean, I too believe that Desean Watson going to Miami is probably the best situation. Now, again, what does that mean for Tua? Well, sorry, too bad. If I'm the Dolphins and I have a legit opportunity to bring in Deshaun Watson, you do it. Because the argument of, well, Tua could be, well, no, we know what Deshaun Watson is, and Deshaun Watson's still a young kid, so this isn't you're taking a gamble on an older guy that may or may not have a few. No, this is a franchise quarterback, not even in the prime of his career yet. This could be a game changing thing if he goes to the right organization, because so far we've seen that the Texans are not the right organization. And, Miami could be that. They haven't had a history, but I like their recent history. I like Brian Flores. I like the roster that they have built. And you're telling me that if they had Deshaun Watson, that they wouldn't have been in. They would have been. Okay, how am I trying to say this? My my grammar is completely upside down right now. My sentence structure, rather. You're telling me that if the Dolphins had Deshaun Watson last year, that they wouldn't be playoff contenders, if not division champions? I'd say so. Now, that could change next year. I mean, I do believe the Patriots will be better. Obviously, I think the Bills, you can anticipate them getting a little bit better, as they've kind of been doing that every year. But last year, absolutely. Deshaun Watson under center in Miami, that team probably wins the division. No doubt.
Yeah, without any question. Again, it's like, it's not good news if you're a Pats fan, but at the same time, I can't really think of a better situation. To me, that's the ultimate situation to go into. Very well respected, great young head coach, building strong foundations on both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively. Brian Flores has definitely got the respect of his players, and he also has the ear of his players. So in that regard, I think that that is a good landing spot. But you're going to hear a lot thrown around. I know a lot of people are hoping that Deshaun ends up in Carolina. That's another good possibility. That's a team right now that I think maybe is a little bit more of a cutaway from contending than Miami. But that's a team that could would definitely benefit without any question from having Deshaun Watson there. So this is going to be an interesting off season. Really, I think an interesting couple of weeks coming up, because to me this is really going to be an opportunity for teams to really flex their muscle, and you might see some teams be a little bit more competitive this year than last year. So good stuff coming up.
Well, and that's the thing too. It's like we have we've already heard word that the Patriots are going to get their opt-outs back. They have a bunch of money to spend. There's other teams out there that have money to spend. And again, every year this is that time of year, the rush of the Super Bowl. It's over. The game was 3 weeks ago. The celebration where everyone's essentially moving on. So now we're okay. Well, what do we do? Well, we look forward to free agency, and free agency is coming up, and this is where a lot of teams, all of a sudden, that doom and gloom turned to hope and reality. Is you can make your team better in free agency. It's not the be all end all, but this is kind of the start, and it gives you an idea maybe of what your team's trying to do, because right now we're sitting here playing the guessing game for a lot of teams when it comes to the draft. I mean, other teams, there's very clear needs, and you can likely anticipate, regardless of what happens in free agency, who you're going to be going after in the draft. But this could set up more of a change in philosophy for certain teams. Like, maybe they do hit big on free agency with a couple players. Who knows? And all of a sudden they look, well, maybe we don't have to draft this guy in the draft, and you know how that can have a ripple effect. So for the next couple weeks, we're going to be doing a lot of projecting and predicting. About 98% of it will be wrong. So just prepare yourself, folks, to be disappointed if you're betting based on what we say. But it doesn't mean we're going to stop from speculating, because that's what we do. But, we try to guess, we try to predict, and like I said, that one time I went 12-0 in a single weekend. I'll live with that for the rest of my life.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yep, that is Ian's 4 touchdowns in one game. Yep. Right there. That is it. That is his Polk High moment, folks. That's it. He's gonna have a T-shirt. 12-0 in one game, 1 week. The 1 week prediction.
No,
I say print it up.
we'll see. We'll see. I'm hoping to exceed that as my career highlight, but realistically, that's probably going to be the peak, because based on obviously what we saw the rest of the season, that was not the norm. That was definitely the highlight of my career, as they say. Final thoughts, Mike. We got just a few minutes left. Anything on your mind? Any shows? Any TV, movies? Just tidbits? Anything at all? Throw it at me. I want to hear from you.
No, I'm good. No, I'm just kidding. No,
Here I am I'm like, please bail me out. Say something.
Again, this is going to be a very, very interesting, month for all of professional sports. Baseball is back, albeit spring training games, but they are back. They are ready to go. NBA continues to be in full swing. NHL continues to be in full swing. And of course, the start of the NFL, league year coming up very soon. We're only about 2 months away from the draft, a little under 2 months away from the NFL draft. So a lot coming down the pike when it comes to that, and just looking forward to it. Just really looking forward to all of it, and we'll continue to bring it to you here. And of course, not just sports, pop culture, anything you want to throw in. Just glad to have the hotline back up. We're glad to have the phone number.
Mm-hmm.
We're glad to be able to bring that to you each and every day here on FPC Radio Live. Call or text, folks, 626-310-8882. We look forward to hearing from you.
One more time. That's 786-SHOE. Oh, I'm sorry. No, that's wrong number. Wrong number. That's
555
SHOE. Oh, what a great episode of Married to Children that is, folks. If you don't watch that show, go ahead and watch it. It's great. It's good stuff. But no, yeah, we're gonna give throughout this week. We'll give our as we get a little bit closer to free agency. We're gonna talk top free agents. We're gonna kind of. Maybe we'll play spin the wheel of maybe not quarterbacks this time, but just free agents, and try to predict.
You're telling me we're going to spin the wheel, make the deal?
Yeah, that's right. That's right, Mike. We're coming back, man. We're coming back. We had a lot of fun with that game, so we're gonna do it again with some other free agents, and there'll be some quarterbacks thrown in the mix as well. But we'll project that. Like I said, write down this number 626-310-8882. We're going to have some contests. We're going to have some call-in contests. So definitely keep that in mind as we continue on throughout the summer, because there's going to be a lot of fun stuff, including some giveaways. And who doesn't like free stuff, Mike? Do you like free stuff?
Of course. Everybody's got to like free stuff. I'm from Rhode Island, and we're all about free stuff up here.
Yeah, Kurt Schilling agrees. No, speaking of free, you know what else is free? The Full Press Coverage app. That's right. Available free, Free, on the Apple and Google Play Store. So go ahead, download that. You can listen to this show, Dylan and Ross Save Sports, live every Friday, or Monday through Friday at 5 p.m. You can also call them and talk to them if you so choose. And, of course, you can read all the great content from FullPressCoverage.com, FullPressHockey.com, FullPressWrestling.com, and everything in between. Folks, thank you for hanging out with us today. We will be back tomorrow at 9 a.m. talking to John Sapichetti, probably talk some basketball, we'll talk about iconic athlete outfits, I guess you want to call it. And we'll go from there. So, folks, have a great day, and we will talk to you tomorrow.